IVM.
The Pragati Podcast with Pawan and Hamsini. They look at economics and politics. It sounds boring, but we're not sure if it really is. New episodes out on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcast from. Alright, please note that the language and ideas presented on the show might not be suitable for everyone. If you're under 18, make sure your mom isn't around. If you're over 80, why is your mom around?
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Nojawan. On the occasion of August 15th, which is Independence Day, aka Dry Day, we, the people of Cock and Bull, will discuss India at its best, worst, and in between.
Why follow your auntie's advice when you can follow Cyrus Says on Facebook and Twitter to stay updated about the latest shows?
Okay, here on Cyrus Says, confession time, confession number 137. And I have to tell you that if you have an inner thigh injury, where the inner part of your thigh is injured for whatever reason, you have to be very careful while applying release spray. This is what I did in the morning today. Now, I put it on the inner thigh area about 3-4 inches, the release spray, and it's very nice. It heats up the area. After which I put on my underwear and pant, and I almost died. The pain was unbearable. It became really hot in the entire area, and the most important part of my body, where all my thinking comes from, was under duress and stress. It took about 15-20 minutes to cool. I went like an idiot under the shower, which apparently makes it worse. So don't ever do that. You have to take tissue paper and clean the affected area. Do it yourself, or if you can find someone to do it for you, even better. But whatever happens, be very careful with release spray, Volini, all these products near the jewels of Opar. It's called Cyrus Says.
And that's what Cyrus says.
All right, we're laughing here because the show is called Cock and Bull, and somebody just understood the meaning of the word bull. All right, Swati, you're with us.
Yes.
Thank God. The voice of intelligence.
Yes.
The
Well,
voice...
I'm not intelligent. What?
No, you're the voice of the comedian. Your intelligence is the spin. The spin intelligence.
Comedians are the philosophers of this.
Absolutely.
These times.
Did I say not? I did not say that. Not only that, they also stand up from time to time. Somebody should for the country.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the country, yeah.
And my name is Turtle, and I'm here to help you. I'm only saying that because Abbas, who is not in the best shape of his life, is wearing a green shirt with a big turtle on it.
You know why we and Swati are wearing green?
Why?
Because there was a dress code today. We're recording this on the 14th of August.
Pakistan Independence Day.
Yes, Abbas, yes.
That we
yes.
either wear orange, white, or green.
Oh, okay. You went from where to where? My worry was Imran Khan didn't take the oath. I thought he would take it on the 14th.
Yeah.
He's moved it to the weekend.
Oh, really?
I got a call. Are you coming?
For his oath?
Yeah. Are you coming? I said no. I refuse. I mean, I can't.
Have you ever
Because
met
you don't
Imran?
have a green kurta?
No. Listen, I'm very pro Imran. I've interviewed Imran.
Okay.
I'm talking about the cricketer.
Yeah.
I've also interviewed the other Imran.
Okay.
But what is he doing?
Okay.
He could have taken the oath. He's doing nothing.
He's actually been on one of our shows.
Imran Khan?
Yeah.
Which
the
one?
actor Imran Khan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. On
We live in a
Rotom.
time when you mistake one for the other. It's amazing. One of the greatest cricketers the world has ever seen, okay, who's now going to have a second innings as one of the most important, if not perhaps the most important politician of this area. But we'll come to that because you've got a whole bevy of interesting stories.
Okay.
Well, sorry, who you interviewed Imran Khan, the actor?
The actor came on one of our shows about cars and automobiles. called
Yeah, he
Rotom
loves
Out.
cars apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the other Imran Khan has to now focus on other things. He can't really tell you about his love for Ferrari.
But when did you interview him?
So he's come down many times as a commentator. Whenever I need some money, I just do a stint of commentary. I go to India and I just pick up some money. It was fantastic.
Okay.
Viv Richards and him, both my heroes growing up. So, yeah, good stuff. Now, of course, it'll be a bit difficult for me to pick up the phone and say, Lahore, please. Yeah, capital, Islamabad, yes. Imran, Cyrus. Acha, oh, 2 minutes ke baad kar lo, yaar. Just wanted to discuss. Saturday evening free, hai na? We have this ghazal night. Swati, let's start.
Yes, so from Pakistan, let's go to US. So United States is to launch Space Force military branch in 2020.
Space Force?
Yeah, Space Force, and a new US Space Command which will establish unified command control for Space Force operations.
Yes, correct. That's called Canada, I think, as far as I know. It's already there. They have that large space where they put people whenever they feel like. Yeah.
No, but this is real space. We're talking about the space.
Yeah, but haven't we seen sci-fi films with this kind of thing?
Exactly. This is some make-believe threat that is coming from space that Mike Pence gave a speech about. And there's this idea that the next threat is going to come from space and the
So
US
you're saying
military.
US will have the first lot of space cadets?
Yeah, that's
Walked
absolutely
into that
right.
one,
Because, the unified command, what else is that? How do you create it?
I will come there, segueing a little bit to Richard Branson and his, that whole ship that he's going to take to space and people buying tickets
Richard
on it.
Branson,
No,
really?
he's announced. There's an Indian billionaire apparently who's bought tickets on it to visit the moon. Is it? I can't remember. But I think this is the future. Let's not even complete the project. Let's just start selling stuff. Or as far as I'm concerned, put armies on outside the Earth as fast as possible. It'll solve a lot of our problems. You just think of India, Pakistan going to war, and we say, okay, we won't fight here. We'll go to Jupiter and we'll fight there. So send your cadets. And I think it's great. And plus, we can play cricket. Here.
Oh, yeah.
On Earth.
Okay.
There's no point playing there. Of course, the way we are playing in England, we might as well play there so that, everybody's
Why
happy.
not? Yes, and then the defeat.
What?
Oh, that's
I think
later.
you act like you've just played Stuart Broad for the last 15 minutes. You're all over the place. The ball's moving. In, out, in, out.
That sounds so
Sorry.
right.
I have to tell you, Abbas, I batted for Xavier's College against Kirti College, which is a very powerful college. Vinod Kambli apparently was in the team but didn't turn up because we were so useless. And we were like 9 players in the morning at 7 and we had to find 2. No mobile phones, so we had to call on PCOs.
Yeah.
Sawmill, wake up, we're too short, just come. No, I don't want to come. No, please come. Like that. And those
But
guys...
Azad Maidan is right across the street. No, could have just carried 2 people from
No,
there.
but they have to have. Then they'll argue that they want college kids and all
Okay.
that. You know how tough it is to get into Xavier's. By the way, cutoff is 96% for arts right now. Huh? So
What are you saying?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Arts?
Yeah.
How we segue
Now.
from one story to another? I can't complete one story because of you guys. I can't remember the first story.
I'm going again to judge an event at Malhar.
Why don't you just become
on
a professor
Friday.
so when my kid needs admission, I can use
Can you
you
get me in?
to get you in?
Yeah.
Where?
As a professor.
Oh, achha.
Oh,
Yeah.
money's not good. You'll be called awful names. You'll have a pet name for life, like Duckback or something. It's just not fun. I'm
I
telling
did
you.
a creative writing course from the building next door, XIC.
Did you?
Yeah.
For how long?
6 months.
Was
It
it
was a
creative
3-month
enough?
course.
Which I took 6 months to complete.
You were writing creative.
Okay, we're buried in controversy. Let's start with a real question.
So the real question is about Umar Khalid, who says that he was shot at by an unknown assailant. Now the reports are not confirming that whether the attack was basically on him or not. But I couldn't figure out from news reports.
There is only one answer to these questions. When there's controversy like this, you need to do what London has done. CC cameras everywhere. CC footage everywhere. They just have to log into their software, check exactly what happened, chain of events, zoom in. You know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
I can tell you that all the Indians who've been spitting on the streets of London will now be paying fines. So be very careful because in many cities in the West, they've got CC camera. Oh, and I'm not joking, every single inch is now covered. In the old days, they were just having certain areas.
And that's the reason you do not have that frisking process all the time.
You don't need
because
frisking.
you
Big
don't
Brother's
need
watching
it.
you.
Yeah, they're
Imagine when
watching
you go to urinate somewhere outside Azad Maidan, that lovely urinal which smells beautiful all day, and you're peeing. Big Brother's watching you pee. So you have to be very careful.
So what about privacy then?
There's no privacy. You have to give it up. In the right to be safe, you have to give up privacy. They
because
can't
it's-
coexist. They just
It's in
can't.
the larger context of, security of everyone. So
That's why I say damn security. I want my privacy because I have so much to hide. But people don't understand that, we're scared. Well, you make up your mind, guys. Make your mind. Give me a call. I'll jump in.
So you're not concerned about security, privacy?
It's paranoia. Privacy is more important for me because I scratch a lot. And there are people around me and doing other things. And, fingers can be pointed at us. So my point is, give us our privacy. It's important in democracy. And I don't care so much about security. I'm not interested.
Oh, really?
For me, security is that guy who, when you park the car, parallel parking for 15 minutes, the security guy comes in and says, "Idhar nahi." That's security for me. Just makes my blood boil. They watch you struggle up, down, left, right, cut, tuck. Then he walks in very slowly, says, "Parking nahi."
No, but security is important for everyone. I mean, the times in which we live.
But if they watch everything you do, your world is over. You just don't have a life.
But now you're contradicting yourself,
I
what
am.
you were saying.
I'm often in the opposition, having started with the home party. You know that. And I'm not the only one.
I want to point
Have you met
out...
Sanjay Nirupam?
He has a double role to play.
I want to talk about Umar Khalid was shot at. I mean, let's face it, the only reason if someone did shoot at him, it's because of the demonizing that the news channels have done of these guys, right? He's an ex-JNU student, and because of the whole controversy, now it's in people's heads that, this person is anti-national.
No, you're talking about the motivation, whether people are there to shoot him. The point is whether it happened is different from whether there was motivation to shoot him.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting the...
Yeah, imagine if it happened. Really?
No, so my point is the clinical argument here firstly is a technical argument, which is, did it happen? Rather than why would it have happened if it happened? That we're very clear about.
Okay.
There are lots of enemies out there. We've reached a point in the country where, they just split like the atom on two sides very clearly, especially in student communities about liberal and right wing. I mean, it's very clear across India, not just in Delhi, and in the south as well, east, wherever. So that's for sure. My only point is, if you want to find out what's happening in a country as big as ours, you've got to use the technology that's available. We have the labor who don't have enough work. We have computers who are unemployed, just hanging around unopened. So go ahead.
See, if you let's take this for seriously. If you do,
slap the anchor on the face with that one. Yeah?
Let's take this seriously.
Now, 1 minute, uncle, you're talking rubbish. I want to get it.
You have that many CCTV cameras.
First, let me recover.
Let
me recover. I have to recover. I'm recovering from the front. Or what Ben Stokes called affray in his court case in England. Yeah.
You need that many control rooms. You need people who are controlling these the footage, who are actually all that. Where is that infrastructure going to come from? Where is that employment?
Of course it can happen.
This is like
Abbas, you're talking about, it's not a mountain at all. There is a few streets in every city. It's not that much.
No, it's difficult because you remember during 2012 when this rape incident happened.
Instead of renaming,
there was no footage available because the CCTVs were not working.
Instead of renaming roads all the time, we can use each road to be completely secure by putting the right stuff in, technology, cameras, whatever have you, wires, cables, and make sure you can see every single inch.
Dude, also we'll get CCTV cameras from like 2002 or something. We won't have the latest technology.
Now you're just being Mumbai.
Half of them won't
work. Don't work.
Exactly.
You're in the opposition now. You're anti-government. I see you all as a threat to me.
We're not anti-government.
In 2019, I know you're voting the other way.
If you really want people to be secured, you have to put measures
Stop in Indians, dosto. Bhayo, Behno, Hindustani. Look at problems clinically and not with your heart all the time and emotionally. Look at problems clinically and you solve them. When you see a urinal has got a leakage, you don't start crying and saying, oh God, I can't believe it. Uncle Raju's urine is hitting me. No. You clinically call Uncle Raju, make him put his finger where the leakage is and make him stand there till you get a plumber. You have to do it clinically. And clinically, there are answers. Technology is there for us. So go and find out. Now, in London, for example, they were able to see bombers on the bus that happened a few years ago because everything was captured. The soldiers
but London has the infrastructure and technology and money to do that.
We have it. We do have it. Where's our money going?
To our money. Okay, moving.
We have the money. Oh.
But coming to this Umar Khalid incident, basically, so today we are celebrating with all these colors and everything, but this actually gives me a very dismal sort of a
cynical, negative
picture that, we are celebrating independence and all those things, and then there is one dissenting voice we can't actually afford to, accommodate in our country because we have to shoot him because he does not agree with us.
I mean, it depends on who the we is. Nobody in this room would support that.
Yeah, but nobody would do that. But what sort of country have we created? I mean, that's the thing.
Okay, firstly, let's not jump to conclusions. The whole country is not anti-Umar Khalid or people like Umar Khalid because there are many voices like that. It's not. It's a democracy and people should have their view and air their view. I honestly think that. I actually honestly think whatever the view is, people should be allowed to air it.
Yeah.
Okay, I think there's a difference between airing your view and having a thought process and, actually taking that further and doing things in terms of acting. Once you act in a certain way, which is against, say, the law, or against civil behavior, against decency, against civility that we have in a society, then it's a different thing altogether. I'm speaking as a model citizen, as you know. I have never done anything wrong.
No, but those act of decency and modesty and all those, who's going to decide that? I know that constitution is there and constitutional rights are there and, you have to respect them. But then these kind of things cannot be actually...
See,
it's a very difficult situation to say that what was right or wrong.
More cynical. What you need to do is look at it more positively and say, if you want to be the voice of dissent and join Umar and other people like that, you should do that. If that's your thing, that's what democracy is all about.
Yeah, I mean, don't shoot at them if anyone wants to voice their
That's
opinion.
what I'm saying.
There was within minutes on Twitter, there were people wishing, he should have died.
I think
Why did he
in
survive?
75% of the country, shooting is against the law in all cases. Let's just be very clear. Okay, shooting is not an option. Well, there are a few countries where it's just, damn it, it's allowed. Maybe they evolved.
So the moral of the thing is, let people speak what they want. Don't shoot at them.
Abbas, you want to say something?
I said.
Okay. All right. But Chinese officials are also saying something, that India is printing their banknotes in China, although RBI has denied that.
But what does that mean?
Our notes are made in China, essentially.
So they're not printed in this country, inside the country. Imagine your national currency not being printed inside your country.
Why is it printed in China?
Because they have the technology.
We are borrowing China's technology and help.
Allegedly.
My God, why can't we just borrow money from them? That way they can print all the
They're
money.
They're not going to give that to us. Are they going to give their money to us?
What was the RBI's defense to this?
RBI is saying that the report is incorrect. So
where did the report come from?
The report was in Mandarin, so everybody denied it.
Okay, so the Money Control has actually reported this, and they say that a Chinese official was quoted as telling the South China Morning Post, and the Reserve Bank official told Money Control that the report was incorrect and that all Indian currency notes are printed in India.
But even if they are printed in China, like, what's the moral dilemma?
Globalization.
Yeah.
So
I'm using a phone that's probably made in China.
Absolutely.
No, but
I'm wearing a t-shirt that was made in Taiwan, which China hates. So, this is globalization.
No, but printing your own currency, like national currency from, you're outsourcing your currency.
Don't get jingoistic on this. What's the big deal?
As long as the money works.
As long as the money works, seriously.
As long as it's above board, it's very clear that you're having a business transaction with a certain country. They provide you this service and whatever. How does it matter?
This is legal currency, right? It's not fake currency.
This is a legal currency.
So then what's the point?
Don't you think so? There are security concerns. Security again.
This is not for me to answer. Being basically an LLB, 1 year complete, 2 years I didn't complete. So I think this has to go to people with fiscal sort of degrees.
Exactly. Yeah.
Degrees in economics and in the study of money, the physical study of money, not just the way we like money, which is, oh wow, I wish I had money.
Again, it's not clear whether it is actually being done or not, because the reports are there, but then RBI is actually contradicting the report.
RBI obviously will deny it.
I've got it. I've got the answer here, but I want a reverb and I want a proper drum solo after it. It's all Chinese whispers. And then amateur comedians ask, we had to put our own sound effect. That's how you tell the difference between the amateur and the professional. When you do the sound effect. I can't stop doing the sound effect.
You never get those sound effects. You know that.
I never.
We never give this.
But I do it myself. It's terrible when I see it on television and nothing happens. I'm like, okay. Wait for the drum roll. And the editor's not bothered. Nobody cares.
No, but in your show, they do put that.
Yeah.
It's about 6 seconds after the joke. It drowns out the other actors' lines.
And the laughter track is of people who've already died. You know that,
laughter
right?
track is of people in CNBC
who've already died? What
the
are you
laughter
saying,
track
Abbas?
they use is from like the 40s and 50s. So the people in the laughter track have...
We have a huge argument. Laughter tracks most people don't use anymore. Okay?
Yeah.
Because it's got a certain old and dated. It just seems unreal.
Yeah,
but I am fighting a lone battle on this one. Oh, laughter track.
No, please tell the people who make the show. I also find that very cringe.
They just won't listen to me. I hate laughter tracks. I was like, why do you have to tell me when to laugh? Then I don't want to laugh.
Exactly.
I just don't want to. The moment everybody goes, ha, 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 ha. And they're all over the place.
They imagine that these things make others
laughter
laugh.
tracks aren't our live audience laughing, which is fine.
Which is fine, yeah.
There'll be an up and down in the laughter and the tempo. There'll be some jeering and all, which makes it real. But if it's just non-stop, I mean, come on. Even Groucho Marx didn't get a non-stop, everything he said, hello, thank you, blue. You can't go on like that. Why do we keep segueing?
That's the expectation from you.
See, Swati, you talk so much, you have to take a break. We have not answered a single thing. And this is the state of the country. State of the country is confusion.
We're low on news today, Cyrus.
We're low on news, but Independence Day, I thought we'd do a special, and we've done nothing. Nothing. When we come back, Parel, and why it's destroying my mind.
Hello, I'm Chuck.
I'm Shrikip.
And I'm Naren.
And together we are the hosts of the podcast
Simplified.
And we are going to be doing a 100th episode. Which is going to be a live episode at Doolali in Khar in Mumbai on the 25th of August 2018.
Yes. we should get the year right.
We're going to be doing a lot of fun things at the show. We're going to be talking about some stuff, simplifying them. We're going to have a very erudite guest who's going to hopefully make up for our silliness, but we sincerely doubt it.
And there's definitely going to be a lot of beer, so we really hope you join us.
It'll be fun, and it'll be more fun if you guys are there. So do land up.
See you. Bye-bye.
Yep, it's called Cock and Bull. Swati's in charge. We've got nothing to talk about so far. But
we are going to talk about independence at the end, by the way.
Oh, yeah, we will.
Yeah.
No, but I have a report to talk about.
She has a report to talk about.
Yes. So the Ease of Living report is out.
Okay.
And this report is released by the Union Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry, which says that Maharashtra has the most livable city in this country, which is
Nagpur.
Pune.
Oh, Pune.
We all said no to Mumbai. 3 Mumbaikars, we all said no to Mumbai immediately. And we all went all over. Nagpur, Nasik, wherever. Pune finally.
But it's Pune.
But Pune, I'll tell you the problem before you carry on the report. Tell them to go to Pune and enter Pune during working hours. It takes you 2 hours to enter and 2 hours to leave. Just remember that. For those of you who don't like traffic
But
like
I'm
myself.
sure they have worse examples. So Pune stands out.
You mean it's the best of the worst? The 2 hours in and out is you're right.
Yeah.
Because did I
that's
mention
the situation.
Parel? Did I mention Parel in South Central Mumbai? It's an unbelievable experience. You know, if you want kids from abroad and all, you've got cousins from America who've seen Disney World, let them see Parel now. Let them enjoy Parel. The experience of going just 1 kilometer on a bridge and going nowhere.
You want to kill them.
No, it's a bit like going up and down, topsy-turvy sort of feeling, you know.
I know.
You get those emotions, the whole gamut of emotions. That's what you want the children to enjoy. Parel is cheaper. Come to Parel. Forget Disney World. Disneyland. Both of them.
So, Pune is followed by Navi Mumbai, Greater Mumbai, Tirupati.
Navi Mumbai is not a city.
That's what I was about to
But
ask.
they've created
it's just
urban,
Mumbai where
I
we park. It's where Mumbaikars park the cars. What are you talking about?
No,
It's
but
Pune light, essentially.
Yeah.
Navi Mumbai is
You can't go on like this, man. Greater Mumbai, Smarter Bombay. What is this nonsense?
so
Does Bombay feature at all?
no,
Yeah, of course it doesn't.
no.
Okay, sorry, we interrupt you. So it's Pune first, Navi Mumbai second, then
Then Tirupati.
what?
Yeah.
Tirupati?
Yes.
Maharashtra?
No.
Oh, okay.
One second. Who stays in Tirupati? They go get the blessings and get out. Who stays?
So actually the
gods.
criteria
The
includes...
gods and the people who man the whole area. That's 8 people.
Yeah, which is why it's convenient
And
to
then
live in.
Chandigarh, then Thane, Raipur.
Thane?
Yeah,
Chandigarh?
Thane. Yeah, actually.
Chandigarh, which actor?
I don't know the actor, so I can't tell you.
Then after Chandigarh?
It's Thane.
These are not even cities.
I know. Like, what is this?
These are where our cousins live and things like that. It's not cities. It's just like
where your cousins
thoda piche,
live, not
thoda aage.
Then
Thane, Navi
Raipur
Mumbai.
also.
Are Thane, Navi Mumbai? No, this is another debate. Thane and Navi Mumbai, are they cities? I don't see. I see them as
And
suburbs.
Bangalore is not there
It's
in top 10. It's number 58.
yeah, that's 58. And Mumbai?
Mumbai is not there. I think I can't see
Didn't
the...
consider it at all.
So there are 80 cities in India, and Mumbai is not in the top 80. There are only 80. So where are we? We have been moved to Bangladesh. Mumbai, now south of Bangladesh.
So the parameters were governance, social institutions, economic and physical infrastructure. So I don't understand Thane actually.
As physical infrastructure of Thane is actually not bad.
Okay.
Compared to Mumbai,
Yeah.
it's all relative. Because you go, there's a wide road. You go, there's a traffic signal you can see clearly. You can actually park a car. I understand what you're saying, but it's not a city.
That's true, yeah.
It's like one arm of the body. It's not a full city. When did it become a city? I want to see this proof that it's a city.
Yes, you have to see this report actually.
No, but Navi Mumbai is not a city. Navi Mumbai is just Mumbai if it was better. That's
Yeah.
it.
Okay. All right. Now the news from Oscars. Okay.
From Thane.
I'm still worried about this.
Thane to Oscars.
And secondly, this Pune thing. Last year during the IPL, I went 5 times to Pune in April, May. Okay, on Sunday it was fine. Every other day I suffered and cried. I cried like a child. Because every time getting into Pune takes you 1.5 hours. Once the outskirts of Pune to the town is like madness.
Yeah.
How can it be the best experience of your life? It's better than Parel, but it's not the best experience.
All right, I'll give you some
Swati, I'm
good
not
news.
happy with this report. I want to tear it up on air.
Yes, please do that.
Okay? This is
Oh
the
my
sound
God.
of paper, so you know that we are not lying. And when did Navi Mumbai become a city? Nobody tell us about it. I could have gone as a chief guest or something. How about Thane? When did Thane become a city? Thane is just Mumbai. It's just outside Mumbai, or part of Mumbai. It's just an extension of Mumbai is Thane.
I don't understand. Are you advocating Bombay or you are
I'm
opposing
confused.
Thane or what?
This report is nonsense. Pune, which is a terrible experience. 2 cities which don't exist. They're just suburbs. What the hell's going on? And then in the same breath,
Cyrus
and
has
Tirupati, who lives in Tirupati? Nobody lives there. Vijay Mallya had a house.
Nobody
He lives in
lives
London.
there, Tirupati?
It's a temple town. You don't
Yeah.
actually live there.
Okay.
So
what
how do you
they
consider it? It's not the hustle and bustle of Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, even Jabalpur. These are cities.
And
I'm very
Bangalore not
confused.
even in top 20. It's 58. That's really surprising.
And Mumbai not in any list.
Abbas, you've lived
Delhi?
your life.
Yeah, I love Bangalore regardless. Whether it's
Going back to Harappa, Mumbai's not there. We have no Mumbai in any list. What's going on? It's all because of Parel. Mumbai has suffered because of Parel alone.
Because of Parel, yes.
In the old days, it was Lokanwala, but Lokanwala is beautiful now. It's Parel.
Delhi is actually 65th
So it's further up from Bangalore, right?
from Bangalore. It's that bad. I didn't know. Ahmedabad is 23rd. Hyderabad is 27th. Varanasi is 33rd.
Malabar Hill? Now we are making city. Let's make another city. Malabar Hill.
No, you're not getting
We are
your
great.
city. No, you're not getting your
Mukhyamantri
city.
agar paas mein hai. Come on, Malabar Hill me a little bit. Baikala, you want your own city, Baikala?
Sure, why
Done. Let's put in Bombay, Baikala. Check it out.
Council of
We have 12
Malabar
cities.
Hills.
No wonder Mumbai is not mentioned. We have 12 different cities now. We've already bifurcated. Can you believe it? Unbelievable.
And
Swati, while you were sitting
Srinagar
there-
is ranked 100th.
Srinagar.
Yeah.
There are reasons.
But Ghaziabad is 46 ahead of Bangalore. That's not possible.
One question. Does Ghaziabad have a Parel? No.
I don't know.
All right. I think we've exhausted this topic completely. We're bored out of our mind. Goa is not featured. It's the only city we're interested in. Let's move on. Oh, sorry. I tore your paper completely. I'm so sorry.
The research has been torn.
Yes. So, I will have to fix this and I will have
Oscars.
to... Yes. So, the Oscars, basically, the Oscar Committee, which is Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, is going to add the category of blockbuster films. Okay? Because they're worried about...
On money basis?
No, because they're worried about the lack of audience. I think that's the reason that they have to get more...
Why
there are two things here.
Why hasn't Arnold Schwarzenegger won the Oscar?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
the viewership of the Oscars has been falling gradually over the years, and the reason many people say is because they don't nominate blockbusters.
Blockbusters.
Listen,
Yes.
Baba, this is stupidity. You want the Oscars to rock? Just get that Filmfare committee together, send them to Oscars. They'll sort it out in 5 minutes.
Have
Let's send
Saif
them.
Khan and Shah Rukh Khan host the Oscars?
Not
No,
necessarily.
but let's send Bajrangi Bhai.
I think Ricky Gervais can destroy them on his own. We don't need anybody else. Yeah.
No, but I mean, so that's what the people are asking now. Does that mean that Bollywood box office will be taken into consideration when previously it was the merit of the film alone?
Half our films are in English anyway. I think you can send them all now. It's not a big deal. But I think, frankly speaking, for the other side, now this whole parallel cinema and all, art takes itself too seriously after some time. When you decide, this prejudice is there, reverse prejudice if you want, like reverse racism, where you decide that, our type of film, because it's about a man struggling in a war, or ethnic conflict, or a child dying of some terminal disease, and that alone is Oscar material. I mean, have you heard people talk? It's always this Oscar material. What's that? Why can't a stupid film about a guy on a horse be Oscar material? Why can't it? Because the film entertains also. So I'm
that's the
you've got to
argument.
take your
Yeah.
snobbery to another level altogether. I'm saying at the end of the day, they should allow the spectrum to be a little broader and wider. Otherwise, there's prejudice, which is a paradox in thought when you think about it, because the whole liberal movement then is as narrow-minded as anything else.
But introducing a new category, how does it help of...
Broaden the perspective. You can't only have a film where the Oscar goes to a story about 2 homosexual men. Now, no disrespect to all these tribes and people and everything, but it can't only be struggles all the time, There's life to be celebrated
But
as
if
well.
a particular popular film is being nominated, does it actually make you see
No, I think what they're trying to do
award
is
ceremony?
Swati, open the door to everyone. Not necessarily that, every popular film is going to be great or something, but just open the door. Give them a chance as well.
But the popular
No,
films
it
have...
does, because if someone says Black Panther is nominated for an Oscar, more
There you
people
go.
will tune in because more people have seen Black Panther. So they
And they
want
wouldn't want to see whether it wins or not.
wins or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Black Panther movement in India is a documentary, and it's a totally different thing altogether. But, I'm all for it. I think that we judge entertainment as with art. Have you seen people, they go look at a painting, you've got to hold your body language in a certain
No, but
way.
film is not only entertainment, that's the issue.
Of course it's not. But why should it only be films about struggles and about certain groups, which they narrow down to, war, crusading, terminal disease, ethnic conflict, the struggle of refugees, all important. But let's open it. Let's open it a little
And
bit.
second thing is that Oscars is all about Hollywood. So where is this question of putting blockbuster category specifically?
Because a Marvel
they're not
film or
cans.
a superhero film will never be. They'll give them the technical awards, but they'll never give them the writing
Swati,
awards.
we live in a
the
world
cinematography
where the
awards.
Golden Globes overlook Shaktiman.
That's true.
You know, I mean, these things have happened, and I have not said anything. My voice has been silenced. We should have stood up as one. India should have started a trade embargo with US and UK over the Golden
You
Globes.
still miss Shaktiman, I think.
I miss, because the size of the underwear is very different to any other superhero. It's large, very Indian, more kacha than, chaddi as they would call it. They don't call it chaddi, they call it underwear. But if you look at Superman's V brief, it's too little. And you look at Shaktiman, he's giving you so much more. It's huge.
Golden
also
also,
golden
I
in
think.
colour.
Golden, yes. Oh, look at these two pseudo Shaktiman lovers. Bloody parallel cinema, my foot. Yeah, there you go. So I open the categories, because you at the end of the day watch Shaktiman, just like me.
Both of us
Open the
remember
categories.
this golden
Stop being
chutney.
reverse prejudice.
We did not have a choice. We had to see Shaktiman.
Beta, wo baat nahi hai.
There was no
I'm
one
only
else.
saying that I fight with my wife about Bull and Kundera. I want to. She's intellectualizing everything in life. I mean, you can't just have that. You can read Mills and Boons and Romeo and Juliet. What the hell? Let's open the spectrum and stop just chopping everything on the shoulder and think, chop,
No,
chop,
but
chop,
that
chop.
means that you're supporting something which you don't want to support.
I'm saying open the spectrum. That's
No,
all I'm saying.
opening the spectrum means that.
Should I go down the last 20 years from Gandhi onwards? All the films are freedom fighter, refugee, homosexuality, AIDS, important things. But what about a guy on a horse? Why can't a guy on a horse ever win an Oscar? Well, just for Peter's sake, I'm saying if the horse can get some mileage just from that perspective.
But Indian award shows have been doing this for like 30, 40 years now.
Indian award show.
Critics Award, Popular Award.
I've luckily hosted a few, so I know the inside dealings. Let me share it with you.
Sure.
Who's coming is the most important. And who's coming at that point? Because they've already given the award to Mr. Smith.
Yeah.
Mr. Smith didn't make it. So now we have to find somebody else. So Mr. Jadeja will be taken. And it's done beautifully, because you're on stage and they're shouting or they send a leaflet. It's not Akshay Kumar. Give it to Saif Ali Khan. He's in the second row. So it's like that.
Really?
Yeah, and even
beautiful.
in the national awards, if you look at the choices in past few years, you'll see that popular cinema has been taken care of.
So last minute the changes happen because they don't turn up.
So
Very
what if
often,
you announce the wrong person by mistake?
you then apologize, you do a joke, and the Lair Mehndi sings a song. Which gives you 5 minutes to quickly, go back and check where it's stuck. Because they don't tell the truth, no? The manager calls and says he's stuck in traffic. First they say Baba for some 60-year-old actor. Baba, wo traffic mein phas gaya. But kahan pe? Wo local wala ka signal. Kaun sa signal? Wo signal. And that's it. That's all the information you got. The actor, of course, is fast asleep. He hasn't even woken up yet. So, he's not coming. So that's life. Say, we just move on.
Life is full of pain, Cyrus.
Open the spectrum.
Also tell me this, that many a times when a person isn't there, they say, I am accepting this award on his behalf. Do they ever get the award to
No,
the
of course not. After the
Swear.
award show's over, people throw the awards away. They never look at each other again. No actors talk to themselves in public, so that doesn't happen. As far as I know.
That's inside information for us.
Yeah. It's very important. And the same 7 people are featured. So they don't have to come and shoot new stuff. It's just the same 7 actors are shown in the audience. Entering, exiting. They just have a list of
Many
the
times the
magnificent
person
7.
who's accepting is also the person watching. So it's like, wow.
It's ridiculous. You're in the same shots. They just change the sari or something. I'm talking about the men. All right. Next. Oh,
Go
stunned
ahead.
silence here. I think Independence Day has affected everybody. All right, let's move to sports. At the time of this recording, just pre-Independence Day, India is 2-0 down. Got hammered in the second test. I want to say something as a cricket lover, as someone who has played Kirti College at their very best. On a
Kirti College.
very difficult wicket in Azad Maidan. I made 9. I'll never forget.
Were you
When?
a all-rounder, batsman, bowler?
I batted at 3
Oh, really?
and I wanted to leave.
You wanted to
after
be
that.
Rahul Dravid?
No, I wanted to be Don Bradman.
Oh, really?
He-
Older era.
Really? Bradman open?
Bradman. Get out of here. Abbas, get out. Don't make these comments. I don't mind. You can make comments about religion. I have no problem.
How
Do
did you have a
not
99
insult-
average as a one down?
Number 3 as a test average, brother. He played only test cricket. 99.94.
That means the openers must suck then.
7 zeros, 29 centuries. 52
God.
innings. Yeah. And 10
You're
double
like
centuries.
a
up to
walking
29.
trump,
But did you
like
read
trump
the-
card.
Up to the 80s. Up to the Richards era.
Did you read Virat Kohli's message after the defeat?
Firstly, I'm a huge fan of Virat Kohli. I think you have to stop picking on him.
Oh, why? Just because you like him?
No, because let's understand the red ball cricket.
Okay.
Red ball cricket in swinging conditions is not played by anybody now. All right? Any batsman would have suffered. They won't be able to play. They're playing flat ball, white ball cricket on flat wickets where they just use their power and timing. The ball doesn't move much. There's no seam movement or swing. So what's the worry? There's a skill involved in sport, right? If you remove one part of the skill, that skill is just diminished. And it's not just India. Australia would have struggled. South Africa would have struggled. Against Broad and Anderson and Wokes on that day, they'd all struggled. So, as you yourself were telling me, Swati, off camera, you miss Gavaskar Greenwich boycott because now you understand attritional cricket, the value of that, of batting the first hour, of watching the seaming ball, the swinging ball rather, more swing than seam in England, watching that swing, watching the bowler's hand, letting that swing go, diluting the effect of those bowlers so that number 3, 4, 5, 6 start scoring runs.
I understand you're too sympathetic about them.
No, I
No, but
understand the game.
isn't saying any team would have struggled kind of a cop-out?
No, look. The fact of the matter is that we are heralded as a great team and all that, but we have not played in these conditions. We didn't. The one-day cricket, the white ball didn't move much. It's completely different. Did you see the game? Did you watch that first day? I don't know if you like cricket at all.
I do.
But the ball was swinging like a banana. It was very difficult to bat. Okay, they got the best of the conditions. I'm not taking India's side, but I'm saying nobody will bat against these three bowlers or their top 5 or 6 seamers that are available there in these conditions. Everyone will struggle. Smith and Company, once he returns, will struggle. South Africa will struggle.
Baz is like, okay.
No, it's
you
like
say
I'm
so.
not the expert, so I'll go with what you say. But how do you replicate those conditions in India?
You have to play practice games, 3-day games with the red ball, where the ball is swinging. You have to get confidence, get behind the ball, see the swing, feel good, watch your footwork. And the openers are very important. We don't even know who the openers are now. They're just chopping and changing them. And Pujara, poor chap, gets run out every second innings. So he's another, I don't know, there's some psychological issues with that guy at the moment. I need to take over the team.
Are they looking for a coach?
A memo to the Oscar committee.
So you want to be the coach?
I
would like to be a motivational speaker. I think I would be able to talk to them.
Motivational speaker. Okay.
Yeah. And red ball cricket is red ball cricket. For those of us who played hard red ball cricket in the streets of Mumbai and, on the Maidans of Mumbai, you know the difference. But that ball hurts more than the white ball. No racism involved.
By the way, now you'll have to put stickers on your vehicle. If you're using petrol, you'll have to
like
put
the way she
blue.
killed my cricket
And if you
conversation. It's like a no ball. She just went straight to something else. Like no interest in your swinging ball. Take your red swinging ball, sit on it. Yeah, go on.
So
Go on,
wait,
Swati.
okay, can I go back for a second?
Yeah.
So India has lost 2 tests now, right?
At the point of our recording,
Yeah,
yes.
that's-
And there are 3 tests.
Trent Bridge is
So
next.
England has won the series essentially.
No, we are very tough for us from here. Also, more importantly, confidence. Now, how to come back? Batsmen have lost confidence. Those bowlers are on top.
Yeah.
They think India is not as good as India thought they were. So, they've got that. They've got you by the throat now. It's damn tough.
That's why Virat Kohli says.
But more important, Mike Tyson is coming to India in end September to launch a mixed martial arts league. Yeah,
Okay.
that
Wow.
he's the brand ambassador for. So I'll be chatting with him. I'm going to get him
nice.
on the podcast.
Oh, please.
So please look forward to that. We're getting Mike Tyson on our podcast. I'm going to do my best to get him. I vaguely know one of the sponsors.
Yes, please get him.
Yeah,
Vaguely
but he's
know.
like the.
Please don't bring him from
He's
Parel.
like the sponsor in the stall
Bring
section.
them from Parel.
No, please don't.
Tyson won't survive Parel. 15 rounds, yes, but Parel, no. No one will survive Parel. Alexander, if he had reached Parel, would have said, forget it. And I speak Macedonian. I understand. I understand the language.
Okay, so I was
Macedonian
telling
Greek
you
is the
that
same.
you're going to use a light blue colored sticker for your vehicle if you use petrol, if it is a petrol vehicle, or if it is a diesel vehicle, you're going to use orange stickers.
So what? I support one party if I do diesel and I support another party if I don't?
I don't know how and why these colors have been chosen, but the Ministry of Road
they're all
Transport and
trying to-
Highways told the Supreme Court.
Look, everybody wants to go the way of the...
Odd even.
yeah, not the odd even, the non...
Veg, non-veg.
no!
Veg, non-veg and
They also have
cars.
stickers, man. Then what are you talking
Oh, yeah.
about?
Electric cars, the
Okay.
batteries. That's the future. Western Europe has already gone that way. I don't want to brag, but I was in Amsterdam at the beginning of this year and I sat in some of the most fancy cars the world has ever seen.
Wow.
But the thing is, the first thing we have to do here, as I think we mentioned this before, is you've got to have all those electronic stations everywhere where you can do your charging. Charging.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember my friend Adrian Ezra, long before in the 80s, got the video player, but they didn't have a TV. So you got to get that right. You can't have a video player, then start borrowing cassettes and say, oh God, I can't see it
It's
anymore.
the whole
You need the
CCTV
TV.
situation again.
There you go. So here, but this is something which has to be now really planned well because you're going across cities and all. You look at India as a big, sort of monolith here. And so they have to get all those networks right that you can, in so many kilometers, get to your next station because the biggest problem is that charging,
Yes,
depending on which
yeah.
car it is and size, etc.
And I think the traffic also, because your
No, so
battery...
this has to come from the government. We'll come to the traffic. The government has to come to the party, which they've done in Western Europe, and you put these stations everywhere. Then the sales will happen, and you'll get rid of petrol and diesel. And this
then
powerful
again,
lobbies
that's
that control India.
investment and-
Or do they not want it to disappear? Or do they not want petrol to be?
Disappear, yeah.
Maybe there's someone happy about.
I love
this.
it when you start a sentence and then by the end you contradict yourself when you come to.
It's always safe. I like my Hamlet.
Okay, and wrapping up, it's India's 73rd Independence Day.
What happened to you?
Thoughts?
You just decided to go 2 years up? You just made it up on your own?
72nd.
72nd.
What is this?
But wasn't 15th August our first Independence
See, this is a
Day?
big controversy.
Yeah,
The
it's-
first, 47 is your first.
First,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay,
yeah.
so 48 is your second. And then you do the maths from there.
So
48 is not your
70
first.
years from then.
It's like birth and first will be 48. No, first is 47.
47, yeah.
Then we take it from there.
So 72nd?
Yeah.
72nd.
Well,
yes,
it's not
so
73rd for sure. But well
It's
done.
not
Okay.
73rd, yeah.
Google it. Google will have
India's
the answers.
72nd Independence Day, Cyrus.
Very good. Thank you very much. It's a beautiful moment for all of us.
Thoughts on that?
See, I think misplaced jingoism and patriotism I find very boring and irritating. I think we, instead of standing up for national anthems at a drop of a hat, playing it everywhere, patriotism will be more defined by trying to make this area that you live in better, cleaner, nicer, the society that you live in more dignified, and people have perhaps a more refreshing attitude towards life. And all this will happen with everybody in their own area doing their own thing. That for me is true patriotism, and the fact that there should be more urinals. I'm a big fan
That's
of that.
independence,
No,
right?
listen. This is. I'm not trying to be funny. We need more urinals.
Definitely.
It's not right.
And for women.
Along with the charging stations. And for women, of course. Poor
Yeah.
Akshay Kumar, what the hell was he doing with that film?
Not just urinals, but toilets for women
I mean
also in public.
toilets.
Yeah.
I mean toilets.
Yeah.
Obviously not just. I mean that would be really stupid. हम लोग एक नंबर को solve किया मगर भूल गया सर मैं बहुत दारू पिया था उस दिन and I forgot कि number 2 भी एक चीज है तो मैं क्या
I
करूँ
sat
अभी?
anywhere.
Yeah, one तो हो गया ना. Let next committee that we form will do 2. Yeah, so I think these are issues for me. I think just stop the jingoism though. You
Yeah,
don't prove your
seriously.
love for India by standing up in a cinema and I went to a dealer's conference and they played the national anthem. You got to stop all that, That's got nothing to do with anything.
That was actually a very right point to make about public toilets and specifically about women because, you are in an independent country.
Localization of areas. Your little mohalla, your little lane, just look after that. If everybody does that, soon you'll see a domino effect. Problem is we don't do that. We don't keep our own little areas clean, except for the one community.
Of course, I knew that was coming.
Tang tang, Babaji ka bhai isko play good music here. Buddy dance? Can you play buddy dance? It's very Parsi. India.
Oh, that's the chicken dance, right? Chicken dance.
This is the Muslim in you. You want to eat my bloody bird. It's a buddy dance. It's a buddy dance. Correct? All right.
Amazing.
Okay, jokes about Jai Hind, long live India and Myanmar. I'm a big Myanmar fan. I like Myanmar. AMA is coming up.
So it's been another great week on IVM Podcast. If you're not following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Last week, we launched a new podcast called the Kinetic Living Podcast with Urmi Kothari. It's a show about keeping fit both physically and mentally. Listen to her conversation with some of the most interesting people and how they went on their fitness journeys. On Cyrus Says this week, Cyrus speaks to Nihal Mariwala, co-founder of Setu India. They speak about health culture in this country. On Kolaba Cartel, I'm joined by Gauri, Jay, Abhishek, and Sumit, who reveal how they came up with the concept for the new restaurant, Miss T. On Geek Fruit this week, Tejas and Dinkar discuss all things in pop culture that are so bad they're hilariously good. This week on Shunya One, Sheila Ditya speaks to Nitya Sharma from Simple. That's the sign you see every time you have to enter the OTP for your payments on the apps that you use. On The Scene and the Unseen, Amit Verma speaks to journalist and China expert Manoj Kevaralmani to dissect China's foreign policy and its impact on India. And with that, let's continue with your show.
If you have any questions for Cyrus, write to us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Or you can send an email to whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
All right, Swati, please, AMA time.
Yes. So, Cyrus, do you watch documentaries? Which are your favorites? And did you watch the Vice documentary, Kya Bolta Banta Hai? This is Dimad Parak.
Kya bolta banta hai?
No, I haven't watched it, but Abbas, you have.
I've heard about it. I haven't seen it. It's about the
Pretend
Indian...
you have.
It's an amazing
There
documentary.
you go, great
Everyone
stuff.
should watch it.
You should watch
Okay.
this.
It's very informative.
I learned so much.
What information?
It's about the Bombay rap scene. It's
Yeah.
about,
okay.
It's about how street poetry can elevate your
Consciousness.
intellect
Yeah.
to
Intellect.
another realm.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like James Joyce, but in a
He
rap
promoted
Indian
it
version.
really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in fact, he's written a rap which he wants to share with us. And I said, no, this is not a good platform, but he wants to. So, Abbas, go ahead.
Really, Abbas?
Yeah, he has.
Yo. That's all I've got till now.
So, Abbas, I gave you a chance. I gave you a platform. I gave you time. And you disappointed us. You're not a rapper. You are not a rapper. And by the way, it's spelled with a W. You tell all your rapper friends. Check it. Check it out in any dictionary. Rapper is with a W.
Yeah, I have a very chocolatey middle
There you go.
that I'm wrapped in. I don't know why I said that.
Oh,
But what are your favorite documentaries? That was the question.
Oh, I've seen The World at War. I don't know what... Rocco Siffredi.
Again?
It's a documentary. I don't know, whatever. See, my thing is that I live in democracy where I have no power. So I have to be elevated. Like the Mandal Commission, something has to happen. I have to get a chance, some reservation. Because the 3 TVs in my house, with my parents, my wife, and my kids, I don't get a chance. And Netflix, we have on 3 things, electronic things and appliances, and they are also taken over. So I don't have access to anything. I live below the radar.
So
I
not
live
just-
like an underprivileged citizen.
You're not only
So I
a
know-
national minority, you're a household minority as well.
You've
Yes,
been a part of a bunch of documentaries about the Parsis, though. Am I wrong?
Two, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my God, you're scary.
Yeah,
Have you
I've
watched
done
all that?
research about you.
Yeah. One on the vultures disappearing, which is diclofenac, which killed all the cattle in short, but I shouldn't give it away, so two people can still watch that. And the other one was just a general thing about Parsis. But this is a little sad because it's such a small community that you can mention, if you're vaguely famous, you can mention in anything about them. And if you don't, you start really worrying. Because it's like there are 20 people, 5 are famous, got to make that list. Or again, Mandal commissioned me up a little bit. Give me number 6.
Cyrus, do you know, was the very first Independence Day in 1947 was a dry day or not? This is
I don't
why
think
you-
it was. I don't think it was a dry day. I think this came a little later into fashion.
Okay,
I don't know
but
where the connect happened really. Honestly, I
Ne-
still don't understand
neither
what is
do
the
I.
alcohol disrespecting days thing. I don't get it.
I think it's still very much like the sanskari thing that you associate alcohol with being a miscreant. So on patriotic
But then
days.
what you mean is that Desis, Indians cannot handle alcohol. So then don't sell it at all. Don't do this half house for me. Halfway house doesn't work at all. I'm saying don't sell it at all. Why? Oh, hey, the great man has died, so now no alcohol. Oh, what's the connection?
So I think possibly because culturally maybe you do not consider alcohol as something which is supposed
That's
to
what
be
I'm
taken.
saying.
So
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
a
hypocrisy.
sanskari thing.
Because you enjoy alcohol in many festive occasions.
I mean, in
birthday
Because it's not
parties and
like
all that.
laddu
During
which you
Holi, you
eat.
pretty much make
There you go.
bhang at home.
Alcohol
Yeah.
is nothing. It's a small subject there. Yeah. It's the big bhang theory that's rushing around. Good point, Abbas. You could have been a lawyer, but you don't have a suit your size.
Wow. Okay.
Wow, no.
This coming from me. This
I
coming from
get
me.
fat shamed on my own show. Wow,
There you go.
amazing.
And from me,
Sympathies.
By my host.
pot
Okay.
calling the kettle. Let's not be racist. Yeah.
You have to edit the show, by the way. So
No, I'll keep this in. To,
Okay.
to
Make
let
himself
the-
look like the victim.
Yeah.
Make me look bad. All the producers do that. This vicious, hostile old man just goes on shouting and screaming like a mad, rabid animal.
so there's one person. His name I'm not sure about this name. It's @A_man.
Swati, can I criticize you for a second? You're very bad with names.
I don't know. Maybe
You
yeah.
never take the names seriously.
No, because
Why don't you like the names? How can all the names
It's
be bad?
not
But in
clear.
17 AMAs, every name.
it's not clear.
But one name you should have liked. Ye to hai Joe. Joe is lovely. Not once did I hear you go,
So-
wow, what a beautiful name. I want to say it 8 times. Not once. Why do you hate names so
It's a
much?
Twitter handle.
It's a Twitter handle. Yeah, there's no name in it.
Okay,
But
say the
it's,
handle.
it's clearly Aman or Aman.
Or maybe it's
Yeah.
really.
You think
I
it's
was
a
reading
man?
A man.
Oh, Lucknow se aaya mere dost. Come on.
A man, 1994.
Arguably one of the most common names in India, but go ahead.
Okay, it's Aman.
Yeah.
Then, okay. He says that it's been raining continuously since last night in Simla. So what do you suggest is the best thing to do in such a weather?
Love in Shimla. I can suggest it, but please don't do anything stupid. I mean, both parties should enjoy the act together. Yeah, but Shimla, from where we are sitting, but I'll tell you again, I've visited Shimla in the last 10 years, and I've seen Shimla change.
Yes,
And
it
I've seen
has.
garbage in Shimla. I've seen too many
Yeah.
people in Shimla. There are one lovely
seen-
marketplaces too. It goes from the charming, bustling market to ridiculously crowded Indian market. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Because our towns are so charming. Growing up, coming from the big city, going to those towns, that charm is just going in front of the Ruskin Bond-like charm. Is just disappearing in front of you.
Yeah, it's no longer the same space, no.
They urbanize and they get dirty and and I hate, this is a terrible thing to say, I hate seeing consumer posters. I just hate them. This cola and this thing, it just overtakes and it just kills the spirit of that place. Now you may say, how dare you, big city guy, come to our little town and not let us grow? Because now we are growing.
Yeah,
It's a sense of
yeah.
commerce and trade. So
Yeah.
how dare you have best of both worlds? You have your bustling city and you want to keep us the way we are.
Yeah.
You may say that, and you may say that I always have a point and counterpoint. But I have to tell you, I come from 7 generations of lawyers.
Of course.
So we never know what we're talking about. But do you agree with me, Swati? You're a Lucknow girl, you're a Delhi girl. You have some access to this place. Abbas has no idea what Shimla is like. So then
Really, Abbas?
So you and I
I
have
went
to
to
talk.
Simla when I was like 7 or 8 years
Oh,
old.
it has
so-
changed a lot. I mean, it's tremendously changed in the sense that not for the good.
Same with Pune. Same with many of our places.
Pune is the best city to live in apparently. So
Even I think so.
You also think so? You lived in Pune?
Yeah.
Can you stop talking about some other topic? We're talking about Shimla. Shimla hardly gets a mention in our show. Today it got a mention and again you segued from it.
But Simla definitely has gone.
But I mean, there's no turning back, right? I mean, you can't make small towns
You're right.
tourist
But I wish
friendly.
What do we do with these tourists?
But some of the countries abroad do get it right in the sense that they don't lose their rustic charm as well as urbanize at the same time. There's a balance. We don't have that balance. We just go left to right immediately. Tuck.
Because the idea of selling the industrialization dream to the commoners, the small towners, that's the cornerstone of our politics,
Fair enough.
right?
But why don't we also have a limit to how many people enter the area?
That's
the other
right.
problem is population. Pune was 20 years ago 25% of the population. So same thing with Shimla. Just don't allow everybody in. See, I'm sorry, our capacity ho gaya. There are 150.
Now
I
you're
think we
sounding
have to
like
have
a-
some
the
guidelines
bustling
for tourists
Shimla
as well.
market, a lovely market, where I learned how to, I remember doing that water skating, is it called? Skating on, what's it called?
Ice skating?
Rink. No,
Okay.
normal rink skating. And I learned there. When I was 16, 17. I mean, I learned in the sense that I fell all the time, but I came out thinking I learned. So all that, that's nothing now.
Do you think that we need guidelines for tourists to such places?
Do you
Definitely
think
like places
tourists
like
will stick
Shimla.
to the guidelines?
I don't know what to do. Maybe we just watch old Hindi films and see what India from 30 years back in black and white looks beautiful. Have Kishore Kumar or Mohammed Rafi singing in the background. It all sounds romantic and nice, all happy. So we just go with that?
Sure.
Yeah.
What do you know? You told youngsters only know.
Also, Mohammed Rafi wasn't 30 years old. It's 30
40,
years old
50,
would have been
60
90s.
years. Don't get specific with me, comedian. Calm down.
Calm down. Okay,
Okay,
Cyrus.
KL Sehgal, just for you. Now you suffer.
I know KL Sehgal.
Sing one KL Sehgal song.
I was just...
Jab dil hi toot gaya.
Oh, sing it.
That's Mukesh, right?
No,
take
that's...
Jab dil hi toot gaya.
Oh, nice voice. Probably better.
Now you're making fun of KL.
That was Bittu Sehgal, environmentalist.
Bittu Sehgal.
Yeah.
So Arun Cherin has a question for you.
Arun
He says,
Cherin used to work with me in MTV. Is the same guy?
What's
Okay.
the
how would I
question?
know? We see today that we don't have world peace, but many world pieces. So what should we do
Well,
to make
apparently we
these
have
pieces?
less conflict in the world right now than we had 40 years ago. So that's not technically correct. But yeah, there's this whole fear of say, places erupting because there's unhappiness and mostly ethnic issues in different parts of the world. Like in our Malabar Hill, for example, the veg versus non-veg, that just carries on and may divide that area.
The way you set that up and the payoff for that. Wow.
I have only you as my audience. Can you just behave?
Do you have a recipe for a peaceful world?
I've given up. I'm a cynic. Talk to him. He's a young comedian.
How to bring peace?
Peace? Yeah.
Just love each other, man. Don't fight.
What are you, a hippie from the 60s? Smoking something you're not allowed on the studio? Doesn't work
Share
like
whatever
that.
you have and
Share? What are you, communist?
Share.
You're a communist hippie from the 60s smoking dope. I will not allow you on my program.
when you talk about peace, this is the opposition.
And when you talk
face.
about independence, this is the kind
Yeah.
of situation you
Share
have.
what? No one's sharing anything. We're
So
terrible.
then, which is why there is no peace.
It's never going to happen. There's no peace. Forget it.
There you go.
Just make sure you get your Aadhaar card and stand in line.
That's peaceful?
Apparently.
What line are we standing in?
We'll find out. Very
2
quickly.
kilometers long.
Okay.
I just hope it's not a concentration camp.
Okay, final words now. Final words as we wrap up.
yeah.
I didn't hear that last comment. Independence Day, your reflections, Abbas, as a comedian, not as a producer. As who you are.
I love my country, but pointing out its flaws only makes it better. So comedians always find the humor in things, and when we criticize something, we make fun of it. We're doing it so that it becomes better.
You sound like an egomaniac. It's like without us comedians to tell you how to do things and correct your wrongs, you'll be nowhere. I'm scared. These comedians take them so seriously, they're worse than the political elite. What about you?
I think everyone should enjoy independence and let others enjoy the way you want to enjoy it.
Jisko jaisa,
yourself.
live and live.
Yeah.
Let live.
I think that's the crux of this independent funda, phenomena, whatever we
She's
have.
making air quotes as she says this.
Yeah.
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 So I think, that's the solution to this. That, we have so many problems, but if all of us decide that we're not going to do
we
this...
can start with the little things, like allow nudity in films and obscenity in films, for example.
I
don't know why that's such a big
agree
issue.
to that.
But there is
Why not?
porn for that. Why do you need mainstream films to do that?
I like mainstream. I want to go and see dirty stuff with the whole family. And
Yes.
And also things like, parking of cars. You should be allowed to park the car anywhere you want to. Just anywhere.
Just
As long as
anywhere.
you can fit it. Because I
So then
think
things will get worse in Parel then.
You are enjoying your independence. That's what I said.
in Parel, I'm virtually parked.
All the time.
It is that. Yeah. All right. Okay, we've been making jokes, but happy Independence Day to India and to any
all
other
of us.
country who was also born on August 15th. But remember, August 16th, the day of mourning, Elvis' death anniversary.
which is when this episode goes out.
But then, we'll end with words from the king. Abbas has left the building. Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps. Please, we beg you, we need you. If you have any questions, write to us online and you can mail us as well. We will answer. We have a doctor in the house called May.
And that's what Cyrus says.
Did I just catch you on your way to work? Or did you end up pulling an all-nighter? Let me guess. You have a packed schedule for the day, the week, and probably the month and the year. That's a lot for your mind to handle, don't you think? This buzzing chaos also brings tons of negative thoughts. Am I right? Try spinning that bottle in a positive direction with me, Chetna, on the Positively Unlimited podcast, every Monday on IBM Podcasts. It's time to change your life one alphabet at a time.
Shunyavan, 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 Shunyavan.
$1 billion acquisition. Another copycat startup got formed.
No, the tech world in India is surely moving double the speed of this voiceover.
Tune in to Shunya One every Tuesday to catch us talking to the smartest people we know on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcasts from.